You ever get that feeling you're not just watching a football season unfold, you're watching history being written right in front of you? That's what's happening in Cleveland right now. And no, this isn't just another preseason storyline that fades away by November. This feels bigger. It feels heavier. It feels like the storm Browns fans have been bracing for finally breaking loose. And at the center of it all is Sanders. From the outside, sure, it looks like the same old noise. Rookie quarterback, messy depth chart, fans getting impatient. But if you've been paying attention, if you've been watching the body language, the sideline whispers, the decisions that don't make sense, you know this is more than football. This is a power struggle. Coaches on one side, ownership on the other. And right in the middle, you've got a rookie quarterback who refuses to wait his turn. Right now, Cleveland is staring at the beginning of one of the wildest quarterback sagas this franchise has ever seen. And for a team that's lived through quarterback chaos, that's saying a lot. But this one feels different. I'll say it straight. I believe Sanders is going to play more games this year than any other quarterback on this roster. And not just late in the season when everything's already lost. No, I'm talking soon, much sooner than anyone expects. Picture this. The Browns start off stumbling. Maybe 0-4, maybe 1-3. And if you know this city, you know how quickly the pressure detonates. The media storms, the fans explode. And right in the middle of it all, Jimmy Haslam, the owner, steps in. He's pounding the table, demanding Sanders on the field, saying, "I don't care what the coaches want, play him." The staff will push back. They'll beg for one more week. They'll argue the timing isn't right. But time is gone. The leash is burned. And when Joe Flacco coughs up another loss, that's when the walls collapse. October 12th, mark it down, because that could be the day Sanders makes his first NFL start. And this isn't just speculation. Reports are already swirling. Ownership wants Sanders. Colin Cowherd saying it outright. Sanders isn't just flashing, he's the front runner for QB1. And in Cleveland, when ownership makes up its mind, history says one thing: Haslam gets his way, always. Think back, Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel, Deshaun Watson. Every time, ownership forced to move. And now, the next chosen one is Sanders. But here's the twist. None of this was supposed to happen. Gabriel was supposed to be the project. Sanders wasn't even supposed to be there in the 5th round. But when he fell into their lap, the entire script changed. Andrew Berry said it himself. Sanders wasn't drafted to sit on the bench. He was drafted to compete. And that's exactly what he's done. Calm in the huddle, sharp under pressure, composed in the chaos. He doesn't look like a project. He looks ready now. Normally, a 5th rounder is just a lottery ticket, a body for the depth chart. But Sanders, he's rewriting the rules, and every rep he takes makes it harder to deny him. Then comes the drama. The Giants pour gasoline on this fire. Rumors of a bombed interview, leaks about a tape. They never show it, just tease it, clip it, lock it away. Fans see right through it. It looks like a smear job. But instead of burying him, it turns Sanders into an underdog. They tried to make him look weak. Instead, they gave him a spotlight. And Cleveland fans, they love a fighter. Suddenly, Sanders isn't just a quarterback. He's a symbol, a player doubted, criticized, dragged through the mud, who keeps proving everyone wrong. And then came Miami, that private workout. 15 scouts, execs, coaches, all waiting for him to crack. But Sanders walked out like he owned the place. Confident, calm, ready. Precision throws, perfect timing, a flawless 2-minute drill against NFL defenders. One scout literally dropped his clipboard. That's how good he looked. And here's the thing people don't get. What they call arrogance is the very fuel that makes him dangerous. It's why he thrives when the lights get hot. Every time they try to knock him down, he climbs higher. So here we are, coaches hesitating, ownership pushing, fans rallying, and Sanders proving every single day that he belongs. This isn't about a depth chart anymore. This is about who runs this team, the coaches or the owner. And the more it plays out, the more inevitable it feels. This isn't just a rookie fighting for reps. This is a storyline that could define the Browns for years. And when the dust settles, don't be surprised if we look back at this exact moment, the drama, the chaos, the tension, and realize we weren't just watching football. We were watching history being written. I need you to feel this with me. Sanders is stepping into the spotlight, whether Kevin Stefanski likes it or not. You can sense it in the air, can't you? This isn't some storyline that's years away, and it's not a developmental project the front office can quietly stash away. No, this is happening right now. So let me throw it to you. Do you believe Sanders takes over this year? Is this already his team, even if the coaches won't admit it? Or are they going to keep dragging their feet, trying to slow down a train that cannot be stopped? Because here's what's undeniable. The Sanders era in Cleveland has already begun. Now, let's rewind for a second. This offseason has been one of the strangest, most chaotic roller coasters I've seen in years of following this game. At first, it sounded like the same noise you hear every summer. Competition, camp battles, open quarterback rooms, the kind of filler headlines you skim over. I almost tuned it out myself. But then the hammer dropped. The Browns made it official. Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback. And let me be real with you, I know what went through your mind because it hit me the same way. Joe Flacco? After everything we just saw in camp? After all that momentum building behind Sanders? That's the guy they're rolling with? At first, I thought maybe it was a placeholder, a name written in pencil. But no, this wasn't just about filling a spot. This was about sending a message, about control, about setting the tone for the rest of the quarterback room, and honestly, the entire future of this franchise. They pitched us this four-man competition. Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Sanders, Dylan Gabriel. On the surface, it looked exciting, like maybe we'd see a young star rise out of nowhere. But let's be honest, that competition wasn't real. The real plan was always Flacco versus Pickett. Sanders and Gabriel, they were just window dressing, names tossed in to keep fans entertained. But once Pickett's injuries started piling up, the Browns did what so many teams do when they're afraid of the unknown. They leaned on the safe bet, the veteran, the guy with experience. And that guy is Joe Flacco. But here's the problem. This doesn't end with Flacco starting. The ripples from this decision are hitting Sanders the hardest. Because make no mistake, Sanders has shown flashes. Not just glimpses, flashes of something real. I watched him against Carolina in preseason. He looked calm, poised, confident. He belonged out there. He wasn't overwhelmed. He wasn't jittery. He looked like raw talent already starting to shine under the lights. And yet, here he is, pushed to the side. Not gone, not cut, not traded. But you can feel it. The walls closing in, the whispers in the locker room, the writing on the wall. Fans are asking tough questions. Are the Browns about to trade Sanders? Is he just an asset to flip instead of the future Cleveland has been begging for? And that's where this story gets dangerous, because we've seen this before. Remember Baltimore in 2018? The Ravens stuck with Flacco. They hesitated. They kept Lamar Jackson on the bench longer than they should have. And look what happened. Jackson turned into an MVP. He changed everything for that franchise. Now, I'm not saying Sanders is Lamar Jackson. They're completely different quarterbacks. But the vibe, the narrative, the electricity of a young talent being held back while the veteran takes the spotlight, it feels eerily familiar, doesn't it? Here's the math the Browns can't ignore. You can't keep 4 quarterbacks on a 53-man roster. Someone has to go. And that decision will ripple through everything. Draft boards, locker room chemistry, the entire identity of this team. And look at the division they're in. The AFC North is a gauntlet. Lamar in the Ravens, Burrow in the Bengals, the Steelers always lurking, always physical, always ready to ruin a season. You cannot afford to stumble at quarterback in this division. Not for a week, not for a stretch, because one wrong decision, it could cost you the season. That's why the Sanders storyline is so fascinating, because this isn't just about who starts week 1. This is about the future. Do the Browns invest in Sanders, groom him, and finally give this city the franchise quarterback it deserves? Or do they cash out early, trade him, and risk watching him become a star somewhere else? And let me tell you this, if Cleveland gives up on Sanders too early and he shines in another city, That's the kind of move that scars a franchise for decades. And Browns fans, I don't know if this city can survive that again. So here's where we stand. Flacco's the guy, at least for now. Pickett's trying to hang on. Gabriel's on the bubble. And Sanders? He's the wild card. He could be Cleveland's future or the one that got away. And that's why I'm telling you, this offseason isn't just interesting, it's defining. It's not roster management, it's identity, it's vision. It's whether this franchise has the guts to embrace the future or whether they cling to the past and pay the price. So I'll leave it with this. What do you think, Cleveland? Do you keep Sanders and build him into the quarterback this city has been waiting for? Or do you cash out and hope you don't regret it? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because one thing's for sure, the season is coming fast, and this storyline is just heating up.